Well, hey, what's up, everybody? Josh Medina, their Pro Mortgage Tip. Hey, I want to talk about what lenders control. If you can see on my screen, you can see what this is. What's called a loan estimate. This is something if you've bought a house before, you've seen. If you're going to buy a house, you're going to see this. For our clients, we do a total cost analysis where we compare different options, customized plan based on their goals, based on their long-term plans over 5 to 7 years. But ultimately, you're going to get this sheet. It's important to understand that what the lender does control and what's just a natural process and part of buying a house. As we know, it can feel overwhelming. There's anxiety, there's uncertainty, and so we want to know where we can help clarity, because clarity equals confidence in this regard. So real quick, let's walk through this. First column is exactly the lender's fees. This would be where they're processing, underwriting fee, any fees they charge. If they're sliding in an origination fee, if they hopefully have walked you through what it means to buy down the rate for discount points, this would be shown here. Hope you're not seeing that for a first time and surprised them telling you they gave you a low rate, but they're charging you for it. So this would be the bucket that these fees sit in. The next buckets the lender does not control. So if you're buying a home in Georgia, that's an attorney state, so there's going to be an attorney part of the process. Of course, those firms have their fees, rightfully so. They have to make money. They do a great job. And so they have a staff, families they have to feed. And so there's a part of that. We don't control that. As you get into the next side of the page, you're going to look at the government's going to get involved, right? They're going to make a few bucks, around your purchase to make sure that, they're patting Caesar's palace, so to speak. So you have that. You also have prepaid. So you're going to pay for your insurance up front. We're going to collect for 12 months there. Depending on what time of the month you're closing, we're going to collect the prepaid interest for that. Remember, when you buy a house, you always skip the next month. So if you close earlier in the month, that cost will be a little bit higher. If you close later in the month, that cost would be a little bit less. And of course, the next bucket is really the escrow bucket. Now, this is really, really important because the escrow bucket can sometimes get manipulated. You should have another 3 months for insurance. And then you're going to also have taxes. So depending on what county you're living in, depending on what time of year it is, we should want to have enough money in there so that you never have an escrow shortage. So I had one the other day that they should have 6-7 months of taxes, and they're quoting 3. Well, why would they do that? Well, it makes them look like their fees are less. At the end of the day, friends, all these fees are going to show up. You're going to have an attorney. You're going to have the state of Georgia involved. You're going to have your prepaid. You're going to have your escrow account. All those things are going to be a part of the loan process, regardless of what lender you work with. What you want to focus on is what their fees are. Then ultimately, too, you want to focus on, look at their reviews. Look how many families are helping in the current market. Their process in which they educate you. Do you feel empowered? They're asking the right questions. These things all matter when it comes, for the most part, rates are all going to be fairly similar as you navigate lender to lender. What's not is the case, and where you hear horrific stories, is the execution and the education around those processes. So we exist to create experiences that matter. We know that clarity and confidence are so important. Thanks for checking us out. We can help you in any way. We'd be honored. We'll see you.